Everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Yeah, we caught you slipping. We caught you
Uh-uh.
slipping. I know half y'all batteries is on your phones is on the charger right now because they was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put my phone in the charger now because Law and West Coast they gonna be on in about an hour. We caught you.
He he he.
See. Y'all know the motto is you're supposed to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. When Stephen Jones slide Dak his $50 million a year, it's gonna be just like this. you,
No
you
doubt,
ain't
no doubt, no
you
doubt.
ain't you ain't gonna see it coming. Just know that. But hey,
Yeah.
man, it is your boy West Coast, man. You know I like to have a little bit of fun before I get this thing popping. Yeah, I mean. So yo, we got some folks on here, man. So let's go ahead and be polite and say hello to the folks that keep the lights on up in here. You feel me? Like all these lights, all these clicks and these clacks, man. We got to show some love to the folks that really hold us down over there. So, Law, I think you got your YouTube up. I'm still updating my thumbnail. If you don't mind, sir, can you give a couple shout outs to some very important people you see over there?
Well, I think nobody's here. I don't see their name in the chat, man, so far. So as soon as y'all come on in, shout out to you all. I know for sure Sadiq, she's going to be here. Someone is going to be here eventually.
Yeah.
I just can't read the YouTube comments yet. Maybe, just maybe give them a few seconds here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know what I like though? Listen to me. And now and
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give a little love to Sadiq, just a little love, right? Because listen to me. You know what that lets me know about Sadiq? That lets me know Sadiq be on his job, man. Because Law can't even see nobody. He said, you know what? I know Sadiq
Mhm.
out there. You know what that
Yeah.
is? If you ain't like Sadiq, we all need to be like Sadiq because that means we in this mug consistency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a couple Sadiqs over here though on YouTube though. Like I got April, she be forever holding me down.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Auntie. Eric,
Yeah.
what's up with you? I got Tiffany in the building. I got Oliver. I got Don in the building. I got my producer Ricky Star Breezy, who's in my comment box but couldn't answer his phone yesterday when I was calling him. You
Yeah.
know I love you, boy. I love you, boy. But you gotta answer the star phone when it rang, man. Come on, Bruce Wayne always answer the bat phone. What's up with you? I got my boy Brandon in the building. BRA Brandon with a Y. That's unique. I love it though. Who else we got up in here? And then on the tubes of you, the people who
Right.
started it all. Let's go see what we got on the tube. Turn myself down. Y'all know I like to listen to myself. I got Texas T in the building, and Alfredo. What's up, Alfred? That's Al, man. That's Big Al. What up, boy? I know you.
Big Al.
We got NFZs in the building, part of Wrench Gang. If you don't know what Wrench Gang is, listen to me. You know, in 2023, I'm trying to be a better person, so I've given all the authority to the Wrench Gang. Now I'm gonna tell you this right now. They some crazy, they some scoundrels. You know what I'm saying? They don't play that. You ever seen them old movies when the dudes be walking through the city with them baseball bats? Hey,
Yeah.
that's Wrench Gang. All I'm gonna say is be careful what you do in the comment box. They might tighten you up. That's all I'm saying. They might tighten you up. You be in my comment, but where's go? What I can't watch the show no more. What you say? What did you say?
What did you say? What did you do? They
What
got
did you
shot down.
Yes.
Snipers are out there, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Hey, shout out. I got my boy Tyrone Church in the bear. Tyrone, you about to be Wrench Gang, man. I seen your application. It's about to get approved. You about to get out. You about to get Rich Gang real quick. I got Chris Bolts in the building. What's up, boy? I appreciate you too, man. And hey, man, I didn't gave some shout out. I didn't say so. Hey, Tiffany, I see you. I didn't gave some shout out to everybody that I see up in this comment box. And you know what we gonna do when we got guests in the building? We about to get straight to the business. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a lot. It is a lot of tomfoolery
Yeah.
going on today. I mean, god dang, West Coast. I mean, literally, is today tag day? Today must be National Tag a Player Day.
It feels like it. And players getting tagged left and right. Now the Lamar Jackson tag with the non-exclusive deal to it is very intriguing because now he got a right to let other teams probe around and, you know, if they like him, they'll sign him. So that's a good tag, in my opinion. I think that the Ravens gonna wish that they never tagged that guy because he's gonna go to another team if someone really likes what Lamar Jackson brings to the table.
I mean, you got to think of it like this: a non-exclusive tag is like you giving your wife a wedding ring and telling her that she can still go find bigger ratings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's basically
Technically.
basically what you're doing. Like, yeah, I
Right.
love you, but I mean, if you think there's a better ring out there, what that's gonna love you better and do you better, then guess what? You more than welcome to do that deal. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you trying to convince me that you love me, that's kind of hard, man. That's a hard pill to swallow, because I know for a fact Lamar Jackson definitely wanted $32 million more a year. I mean, you got to think like this. Daniel Jones making more than $32 million a year.
He got $35 million incentives plus $160 million contract stretched out of 4 years. So, and on top of that, let me add this sugar to everything that's out there, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Jones is 1-6 versus the Cowboys. So shout out to him. Sign him more money. Give him more bread.
Yeah, I mean, my question to this is, I want to know, are Giants fans in a riot right now? Are they really like trying to burn down the building? Because I mean, when Dak Prescott got his contract after, rookie of the year, being to the playoffs twice, winning a playoff game, and all them things that, Dak did to get his money. And then he had to get franchise tag. He had to go break his leg. And then he had to come back on the broken leg and walk around for a little bit. He had to hop and skip because, they tried to franchise him twice. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy what Cowboys did to their quarterback and what the Giants did with theirs. And you know what's crazy? What's even more crazier is they got Daniel Jones still cheaper. And you know what I like about the way the Giants did their business is this. No matter what we feel about Daniel Jones, they felt Daniel Jones was their guy. So you know what they did? They paid him. And you know what they also did? And because they did, yeah, you might get laughed at, at the local NFL parties for giving Daniel Jones $35 million. You might. But guess what? Had you would have waited another year and he, get you back to the playoffs, then guess what? He might be getting you 49-50. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, think about this. Daniel Jones was literally Dak before the contract. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A guy with some promise with a playoff win. With the same type of conversation y'all saying about Dak. Because remember, when Dak was trying to get paid, he was Mr. Dink and Dunk. He didn't start slinging it like crack rock until what? After he got paid.
After he got paid. Because they said, okay, now since you got the money, we want you to generate these type of things. And the money don't change who you are. It just reveal it, right? But on the other note is that this right here, Cowboy Nation and everyone that's listening, when you start doing it that way, just because I give you more money, don't mean, look, I used this analogy before, Wes. If you are F-150, just because I paid you more money, that doesn't mean that you're going to do Ferrari things. No. Or if you're a Ferrari or a Porsche 911, just because I give you more money doesn't mean that, hey, I want you to do F-150 things, right? You are who you are.
Yeah, and not only you are, you can't really pretend. You can pretend to be someone else, but guess what? Your true self will eventually prevail. Now, as far as like, it's what I'm seeing right now in the NFL is they are literally, I feel like the NFL at these private NFL meetings, someone said, hey man, hey Law, you're the owner of the Falcons. I'm the owner of the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Hey, how about we all just stop paying quarterbacks high? Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, how about everybody? Let's just start with running backs. Hey, fellas. How about all 32 teams? I know your running back's good. I like my running back. But listen to me. Do all of us want to pay a running back? No. 32 no's. So then you know what they say? So how about we do this? Hey, how about we all agree that we're not going to pay this? Because I mean, it really looks like owners are trying to bring those numbers down at every position.
Technically, you are right with it, because keep in mind, everybody, there is a revenue sharing. So everybody shares the same exact pie, regardless of it. That's why the front office and around the NFL, they didn't like those, like the Players Association didn't like when Tyron Smith gave that first contract of 10 years, right? He said, you're going to disrupt the market. Other guys that's supposed to be able to get paid money would not get their max availability. So like the same thing can be said on the opposite end. Like we all know that Deshaun Watson contract destroyed the market, right?
Mm.
Everybody's going to try to climb to get to the top. That $230 million guaranteed money, everybody want that now. So you look back at it, you look at what Kyler Murray got, it's similar to that contract. And if you look at what Lamar Jackson is banging on the table, he want $230 million guaranteed now. So that's just how it goes. Unfortunately, if you own a house and if your house starting value is at $450,000 or $500,000 in your community, you will start a riot over there if someone sold their house at $150,000 because it's going to lower the value of everybody's house that's in that neighborhood. Now, if somebody in the same neighborhood sells the house for $600,000 or $700,000, you doing like this because you know that value is going to rise.
Facts. And that is a ridiculous point, because at the end of the day, even though we all have different homes and we all have different mortgages, we are all in this together. Why? Because we're all in the same neighborhood.
Right.
We're all in the same neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So if your house is being sold for X amount of dollars, that's automatically going to bring my value down. Right. Why? Because your house is across the street from mine. NFL, it's the exact same thing. Appreciate you, Miss Avis, for the 150 stars. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. And to be honest with you, that's why I say, man, listen to me. These owners meetings that we don't ever pay attention, it'd be crazy some of the stuff that come up out of there and some of the minds, because at the end of the day, you got 32 billionaires. 32 billionaires who are all trying to find ways to do what? Pay less. You know what I'm saying? They want to pay less. I mean, and to be honest with you, that's why the draft is an event and free agency is something we just go through. Like the draft has its own event. It has its own week. It's spectacular. It has everything. Why? Because that is the one time that the NFL can get what? High-level talent for the cheapest it'll ever be.
Right. Shoo. Woo!
Free agency costs.
Yeah. It does.
Free agency costs. So my question is this, Law Nation. I ain't going to say your own. I ain't going to say that. Jerry Jones said that the Dallas Cowboys are going to make this huge offensive splash, right? Mm-hmm. They were looking. He insinuated. Now, I was just being facetious and I was just being sarcastic. And I said, yeah, they're going to sign Tony Pollard. But my question is this. If you're about to go into free agency where you want as much money possible to go shopping, why would you tie up $10.9 million that you cannot use?
Ooh, brilliant observation there. They will use that as a hindrance, right? And they will lean and they will try to play that mind game with Tony Pollard and say, hey, we want this team to be better, but by you not willing to negotiate with us, and we've got to put this franchise tag on you, this void any possibility of us going out there grabbing a D-Hop or grabbing a known commodity that can help this team out. And unfortunately, they are so crafty with their words. John Stephen Jones, that's his whole government name, as well as Gerald Wayne Jones, that's his whole government name. They will use the money and say, hey, we couldn't sign anyone because of these factors. On top of that, we did sign people. We sign our own guys. Remember that what they would say. We like our guys and we sign our own guys. And you heard the storyline of Neville Gallimore. We ain't expecting to get rid of him because we like his skill set.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. One of the greatest things in the world, man, or at least one of the greatest feelings in the world as a content creator, man, is when you're coming down the court, right? And you see the two defenders, right? You see the two defenders and you drive to the court. You drive to the hole. Ooh, you drive to the hole. And at the corner of your eye, I see Law coming from the side. And I just flick it in the air. And Law just tomahawk that mug. Just, just gets the alley-oop and just LeBron James tomahawk it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, if you don't understand, man, listen to me, bro. Like, that's one thing I will tell you guys about watching independent content creators. Once that light is turned on, it is forever turned on. It is forever turned on. The Dallas Cowboys are not billionaires. They are not America's team. They are not looked at the spear that they're looked at without being very intelligent. Now, what do very intelligent people do? They learn how to use crisis to their advantage. Now, my question is this: why Dallas Cowboys? Because I was on a show yesterday, and they were like, well, you had to tie Tony Pollard because the deadline was today. I'm like, well, theoretically, yeah, but think about this, Law. When you come out in the middle of contract negotiations with someone and you say, if you don't get a contract, I'm going to give him the franchise tag, me, the player, knows that I will get no less than what?
10 million. Yeah. Well,
there you go. So like my cousin said the other day, Law Nation, what if I told you I'm going to punish you by giving you $10 million? God damn it, Law. I'm really steady now.
I'll be like Simi on Coming to America. When he came back, he said, I demand you to go take a bath. You know what I'm saying? Simi was like, yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, like I wish you would punish me with a good time. So it's like this, Law, when you came out and you said that worst case scenario, we're gonna give you the tag. You told Tony Pollard that the price that you saw him was $10 million. So theoretically, you didn't even have to give him the tag. You just had to give him what? $10 million.
$10 million. Yeah.
Because you had already created that value. Go ahead.
And the Cowboys, they celebrate that. They look at it as a wonderful thing. I was, just before we went live, I flipped over to Facebook. And on the Cowboys Facebook page, they got Tony Pollard with a blazer on, a jacket, a car. And they saying, yes, we gave him the franchise tag. No, bull sugar. Y'all said that y'all couldn't come up with an agreement so that you put him on the franchise tag, meaning that you can't resolve whatever issue. There's an issue at play. So the front office with the Cowboys organization, they live and they breathe, hey, franchise tags are good things when they are really bad things.
Facts. And you know what? There's a culture change because the Dallas Cowboys went from a team that never used the franchise tag, saw it almost as like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? To now, we didn't Byron Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law. D-Law. We did him
twice.
We did Dak twice. We did Dalton Schultz. You know what I'm saying? And then think about this. And for all the people that say like, and this is the thing that kind of like just perplexes me. Like it just really brings that West Coast out of me, man. When people say stuff like this, yeah, West Coast, but now Tony Pollard gets to go ball out. And then if he balls out, he's going to get a bigger contract. And I'm like, yeah, that's all true. But for a team that doesn't want to pay people, how does that benefit the Dallas Cowboys? And think about this, Law. If you honestly think that he's going to ball out, why not just give him a contract?
Right. Ooh, it's too much sense, man. Because what happened here is a lot of people are going right into that mindset. It's like, hey, I'm gonna lease this car for a year, and then next year I'm gonna buy it. It don't make sense. Go ahead and buy it now. Yes, it's depreciating in value, but why would you spend all of that money for a full year that don't go towards nothing to the car so you can, I don't want to say the word own, but you get what I'm saying, right? And the Cowboys reverse hustling with that. It would have been easier for you to sit Tony down and say, okay, we got this 2 to 3 year contract. And now that hit would not be 10 million, ladies and gentlemen. That hit will be right around 3 to 4 million. And you can take some of that loose end money and go get a DeAndre Hopkins or go sign a Bobby Wags or do other things with that money. And if he somehow get injured or what have you, you can have clauses in the contract for injury. You can have so many things, just like Blake Jarwin. When he got hurt, we didn't bat an eye. Why? Because we didn't sink our teeth into a franchise tag on a Jarwin. We understood he got hurt and we washed our hands with it. It didn't cost us a thing.
Yeah. And now, so it's like now you sit here and now free agency is about to start next week on the 15th. Cowboys, that is definitely going to be their number one excuse or reason on why they're not able to do something in free agency.
Right.
And that's 100. I mean, because my question is this: what was their reason last year? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was your reason last year? That's why,
Yeah.
like, people, not even to change the subject, but just slide to somewhere else. That's why when people say stuff like Odell Beckham, like, it's hard for me to believe that the Dallas Cowboys are going to sign Odell Beckham now when you theoretically needed him. Now, get me wrong. I know we know he didn't work out, and we all should have knew he wasn't going to work out. You know what I'm saying? But you needed OBJ more then when the season was in the middle of it than you do right now. Why? Because there's still optimism. You don't I am not under the belief that Michael Gallup is just falling all off of a like fall. I'm not under that belief. Now, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I was not under the belief that Michael Gallup should have gotten a contract, but that does not waver what I feel now. What I feel now when I see Michael Gallup is a guy who produces and can catch the ball and can be a weapon if he's 100% healthy. He's not that guy where it's like, oh yeah, 80% of Tyron Smith is better than 100% of the title toggles in the league. Bro, 80% of Michael Gallup is me.
You're right.
It's me. You know
we all like Gallup, man, but no one can find me where he played a full season, you know what I'm saying, without those knickknacks or what have you. And what did he generate at, and what spot was he at when he played said full season? On top of that, a person that's been more healthier than Michael Gallup was this dude right here, Amari Cooper. And I hate pulling off of the Band-Aid on that, but here's the thing. Y'all, you got to listen to this. Amari Cooper been healthier than Michael Gallup, but Michael Gallup been perceived to be healthier than Amari Cooper. On top of that, Michael Gallup productivity and his mindset was to think that he's going to move from the third option all the way down to the second option. I'm not calling Gallup trash or anything, but I like Gallup at that third option because it gives us more power and it gives us more spontaneity at that spot. I think that the Cowboys should go into this year, this offseason, while you got a chance to find a legitimate number 2 or a legitimate number 1 that you can put right beside CeeDee Lamb. There's nothing wrong with having 2 ones, by the way.
Absolutely not. And then I'm going to tell you this right now. You know, this is my thing, right? You all know I'm Mr. Run the damn ball, and I enjoy running the damn ball. But you know, when you run the damn ball, you're gonna earn the right to throw the ball deep, especially on what play action pass. Why? Because when you run the damn ball, they're gonna have to bring a safety up to stop to put. They're gonna have to put an extra man in the box. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's why I believe like there was absolutely no excuse for Dak to not have 3 or 4 shots a game this year. Why? Because the Dallas Cowboys ran the ball the 6th most time in the NFL. Listen to me. I don't even give a damn if you're good at running the ball. If you're a top 10 team in actually physically handing the ball off to a running back, you should be a top 10 team in play action. Why? Because you've earned the right to physically throw the ball. Because listen to me, even if people think like this, oh, they're only getting 2 yards a carry, so you know they're not gonna. Bro, listen to me. They're still stacked. The reason why they're stacking the box, the reason why they're only getting 2 yards a carry is because they're stacking the box. There is a 9th man in the box. You know what I'm saying? People think that like, oh, we're they're just going out there with 7-man fronts and just no. There's a reason. There's a reason why teams are being able to get up there because they are bringing their safety up there. The same thing we do. Like the exact same thing that we do to stop the run. What do? Donovan Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Hence the reason he had 75 tackles. So it's
here's the thing, though. I think that teams figure out a way to stop the run with four men on the front and just light boxes. But I do agree with what you're saying. I think the main problem was when they played those quarters defense and they played cover 2s or what have you. For one, it clouded, it took away Dak Prescott reads. It did, it literally. So now you got to have your wide receivers to find the soft spots in the zone to take an attack. Now, the problem is with that, you had too many people doing option routes to fight and to attack those zone coverages. And when you do that, you see the miscommunications, you see the lack of concentrations, and you see a tick up on interceptions. Just like on 2nd and 2, yes, everybody banged on the table in that playoff game. Run the ball yourself, Dak. Yes, it's empty, but you can lean forward and get those first downs right there. But the problem is that they were so bought in with the 4 curl routes or what have you, is that we never gave a scheme or put things in place to attack cover 3, cover 2s, quarters defense. And that's been our main problem there, in my opinion.
And I'm going to keep it real with you, man. Like, I know there's a 49er fan in the comment box that's going hard, find 49ers all damn day. I think you need to go start a page, man. Go start some content so that next year when we play each other, you can come on and you can be a guest on the show. You feel me? Yeah. That's how it works. All right. So listen to me. Like, seeing Kellen Moore lose to the 49ers a second time, I had an epiphany, and I was like, bro, we'll never beat this team with Kellen Moore's system. The reason being is because, like, the 49ers they're their number one defense, right? They were the number one defense versus the run. Now, this is something I broke down a couple times, but I just want to take a trip with me. If you are a defense that's number one against the run, that means you're also probably very, very good at doing what individual trait? Tackling. If you don't tackle well, you're not good against the run, period. Because running backs only run. You can only tackle a running back. That's unless he's going to run out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? So think about this. Think about this, If you're running a scheme that is based on curl routes,
oh my God,
and things that are stopping in front, the defense is literally going to, at worst case scenario, you know what they're going to do, Law? Let them catch the ball and tackle them.
Right. And you're not going to get that much separation, too. You know, you play DB, right? You play defensive back. So you're going to sit on a route when you know for sure that, hey, 9 times out of 10, if they're going to stop and curl on the 5-yard line or the 7-yard line, shoot, you just going to stay at the 7 and you just playing the sticks versus you're going to have to travel on someone on a shallow dig or deep overs. We never ran those type of routes. It was all hitches, comebacks, and occasionally a seam route. So those are issues right there. And I get it. Dak Prescott, could he been better in those situations? Yes. But at the same time, could we drew up a scheme to attack certain things? Yes. And Coach Marv, he shout out to him. He brought this to my attention this morning. He said basically with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, that's 1,900 yards, 24 touchdowns, 500 receiving yards. Are you willing to get rid of that for maybe and a possibility of the unknown, West Coast?
No. Especially, and I'm gonna tell you this right here. What we got to understand is this: the biggest change that we needed happened. Listen, fellas.
Yeah.
No, like we listen to me. We lost in the playoffs. We lost in the second round of the playoffs. If you do open heart surgery on that team, you do not have enough time to repair. You don't. You don't. Listen to me. You want to start breaking stuff up. You want to start moving stuff around. Think about this. You technically already did have major surgery. Why? Because you fired your coordinator and installed a whole nother guy. That, I know it seems like, oh, that's just something small. Mike McCarthy's just going to he's just going to have one extra little thing on his paycheck. No, bruh. That is a major thing, because think about this. Now Dak goes from talking to Kellen Moore every play to talking to the head coach. Now, I do believe that is where it should be at all times too, because then my head coach can have conversations with my quarterback like, yo, bro, what's up? Hey, man, my defense is tired, bro. They're tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my head coach, because he's over everything, an offensive coordinator tends to just care about what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but what I'm saying is, there is going to be changes, and that within itself is a major change. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something else that's also very telltale. Your head coach said the terminology, and that only about 30 to 25% of the offense was even going to change. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you get rid of Zeke actually plays more than Tony Pollard. Bro, if you get rid of Zeke, you have a new offense.
You do. You have a new mentality. Those 3rd and shorts, those 4th and 1s, that was a whole different. Those things are gone now.
What are you doing in the goal line too? Remember, the common hater is going to say that Zeke only had 12 touchdowns on the goal line. So then what are you going to do for that then?
Yeah, you're going to have to do some other concepts, man. Hopefully, man, Brian Schottenheimer have things worked out. I see my guy, Beast Mode, said Zach Charbonnet, he will be able to replace Ezekiel Elliott. Here's my thing about Zach. I like his running ability. He's a big back, but he runs way too high. He runs too tall, and that's a lot of target. That's a lot of landmass. And then all of a sudden, you know, you can get away with that on the collegiate level, but he come across the A or the B gap on the pros.
They gonna lay.
He gonna need some milk, baby. And then I don't know if he can hold on to the ball like he did in college. So
he needs some milk.
So he is physical. We see all of that. But I like Tank Bigsby a little bit better because of his size too. But go ahead, Wes. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. I always tell my kids, you know, in 6U, I say, hey man, if you run high or you know you stop on a football field at any time, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You are going to die, and then your mother is going to come out of the stands and she's gonna cry over you while coach tells you, mother, I told him not to run high. Instead, stop running on the football field. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what it is. And I'm gonna tell you like this, like the NFL is so predictive now that when you see a running back like that with those type of traits, they're not even gonna give him an opportunity, bro. I'm sorry. It just unless you're Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson is the only person I've ever seen to run like that and still be successful.
Yeah. DeMarco Murray kind of ran north. Like
he also had the best.
He had the fumble issues too. Yeah, and he did 1,800 yards. So if you like Zach Charbonnet, he kind of run like DeMarco Murray, but he's a better toter of the ball, I think. Who else ran high?
I'm gonna tell you,
McFadden kind of ran high. He had a little toothpick legs though. Remember, he wasn't as physical.
I'll tell you somebody that ran high and looked like he was. I ain't gonna start no rumors because our content is too big, so I'm gonna go somewhere else with this joke. But that boy Darnell Washington, man, god dang, I ain't gonna. That boy, gosh, Lord, listen to me, Law. Listen, our pages be so big, you be like, yeah, man, that dude look like he on some steroids or something. Next thing you know, Darnell Washington gets a mystery test. Hey, Lord.
Breaking news, the Cowboys are now out on Darnell Washington because they think that he's been on the jokes. Brought to you by West Coast Cowboys.
How you gonna put my stuff on it?
It was reported live on West Coast channel.
Law said, hey man, I was just on there reporting, man. I just reported it. That's all I do. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you this. Somebody did a TikTok, right? Where they did him doing the bag, and then they did all the other dudes pushing the waist, bro. It was just ridiculous, man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't know about I'm out on Titan. There's a couple positions that I just don't think the Cowboys will ever draft in the first round. I don't think that they'll ever draft a tight end in the first round simply because Jason Witten was drafted in the second round, and they're like, if we got Witten in the first round, we should be. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they do think like that. Yeah,
right. You know that's how they think. I don't think they'll ever draft a corner in the first round because of Maurice Claiborne. I don't think they'll ever. I
don't blame them though for that though. We keep going. Hey, we moved up and got rid of some. Look, we passed up some guys to get Mo Claiborne.
I say the next one, be nice because it's my uncle, man. You be nice when I say this next one, okay? I don't think we ever gonna draft a safety because of Roy Williams. Roy, you know you're my uncle, but I'm just saying, Roy, you even said it. Don't get mad at me. You said it. You even said it. You was like, man, I don't think they'll ever draft a safety in the you know what I'm saying, how they did me. Okay. And what's another position? And I'm gonna tell you, running back.
You think they're never gonna draft another running back in the first round again?
I don't think they'll ever draft a running back in the first round. Ever.
But you know what? Here's what happened to your uncle, though.
I don't think they got burned either. I don't think they got burned.
I think your uncle was really good, man. He was really good till they changed the rules. He should never tackle T.O. and snapped up that man's leg because then they had to change the rule. And they changed up a whole bunch of other stuff. And it took him out of his element. Now, if you pick a young Roy Williams, see my hand shaking? And you put him with Dan Quinn, and you just say, goodbye, J-Ron Curse. I think that Roy Williams will go real good with this team. It's just that we had a crazy defensive coordinator at the time who he didn't really, 5'11", 5'11".
Now you just started some mess. Now you just started some mess because now I'm curious. How the hell in your make-believe story you kissed somebody away and it was J-Ron Curse and not Malik Hooker? Now you got me want to actually pick your brain now. How the hell in an imaginary world, how you go? I'm just quit. I'm curious. You
Uh,
have to pick one. You J-Ron, or what you thinking?
I'm talking about it. I'm just thinking like Roy Williams coming out of college, Roy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the problem was Roy never could cover, right? So we're not asking J-Ron Curse to cover too. And I'm not saying that J-Rock can't cover. J-Rock does a wonderful job of erasing the tight end. The whole play that look, the Niners, and I hope the Niner guy still in here. They had to disguise for Kittles to get open on that play, which was illegal, by the way. He covered up, and it was illegal. It was a legal receiver downfield because he didn't supposed to be able to get off that LOS. He's supposed to stay.
Yeah,
and that's because of J-Ron Curse, man.
And that's why I say, like, when people be like, "Oh, Diggs couldn't have did it." I'm like, bro, you can't blame a player for doing something on a play that wasn't even existed. Technically, Kittle was a tackle. He wasn't a tight end. He was technically lined up as a tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, and you're right. And Witten was third round. That makes it even worse, though.
Oh, third, yeah.
that makes it even worse. Like when the Cowboys go ahead.
No. Well, I was just saying that this tight end room, you might can find a dog out there in the second and the third round. It's just depending if you did your homework right and trust and believe that. I think that the Cowboys' philosophy still should be BPA with those first two picks.
Okay, so now my question is this, man. You got your biggest free agents on this team this year, I would think would probably be Tony Pollard, and next would probably be Dalton Schultz. So now that Dalton Schultz can't get the tag, my question is this. What are you doing with Dalton Schultz?
Let him go taste that market. And we like you, and we hope that all is well with you. And we move on with the young guys like the Jake Fergusons and the Peyton Hendershots of the world. And then you go draft a tight end. You go draft another tight end to fill in that spot. Shout out to Sean McEwen. He's going to be fighting for his natural life and get back in that doggone room, Cowboy Nation, and figure out something to do with Donovan Wilson, because I refuse to give up 5 sacks. That's a lot of sacks, man.
Yeah, I mean, you also got to remember he played more games than all them other dudes too. So I mean, but I say it like this, man. If the Dallas Cowboys do walk away from Dalton Schultz, I can't replace them with 2 guys, not 2 non-draft, 2 late guys. I can't. I like, this is my thing with Hendershot and Ferguson. I think they both have potential, but at the same time, I don't believe either one did enough to separate themselves from each other. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, who is my number? Because at some point, I'm going to have to go a number 1 tight end. And it's like, if I'm looking at a number 1 tight end, it's like Dalton Schultz is still clearly better than those 2 guys. Now, I know there's some people that say, oh, well, they have this, but let's just be real, man. Dalton Schultz, where was those guys at the last 7 weeks of the season? More importantly, where were they at when you needed them the most? Donovan Wilson, the reason why Schultz is being talked about that also, keep it real, is because of them 3 touchdowns in the playoffs. Like, that's something a Dallas Cowboy tight end has never done. Now, people are going to say, oh, yeah, well, anybody can do that. Well, guess what? If anybody could do it, anybody would have did it. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop that mentality, man. Like, we really have to stop that mentality. Go ahead.
Well, Hayden Hurst is out there. Austin Hooper is out there. Robert Tonyan is out there. I'm just looking at those guys to see what they could do as far as what Dalton Schultz did. Now, I get what you're saying. Those things will be hard to replace. Dalton Schultz is a hell of a tight end from the mindset of what he brought to the table with Dak Prescott. The only problem is he that hell of a tight end? Do you pay him north of David Njoku? Do you pay him north of Dallas Goedert? Do you pay him Mark Andrews' salary range? Because all of those boys are getting paid $14 to maybe $16 million. And the market value for Dalton Schultz would be the minimum, would be the floor of what he got last year. So he's not going to be looking at it like, hey, man, I'll come back for $3 million or $4 million. No, pay me. I want what is owed to me, and that was north of what I just got last year. He's not going to want to take that massive of a pay cut.
My thing is this, right? Well, you can't even pay Dalton Schultz under $10 million because you already paid him $10 million.
Right.
Technically, he gave you more production. So I'm not even, the Cowboys have already said that they're okay with paying him $10 million. So it's really not about I think people have this mindset, oh, we're going from 6 to 15, or we're going from 6 to 13. No, I think you're probably going to have to go from like 10 to 12. That's what I think is going to happen with Dalton Schultz. I think that he's going to get a contract that's probably $2 million more than what he's worth right now, that he's getting paid right now. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Listen, I am a guy that wants my team to stay the most that it can be. Why? Because at the end of the day, I am just another guy that believes that the Dallas Cowboys are not as bad as y'all think they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you guys something else. Some of these moves that we make, some of these traumatic moves, because remember, some of you guys that are saying get rid of Dalton Schultz are the same guys that were saying it was okay to get rid of Amari Cooper. I still remember your tags. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple of them written down too. You know what I'm saying? So remember, that it all looks good and sounds good in what is this, April, March? It sounds good right now. But you also got to remember, you were getting rid of a guy that Dak has thrown more career touchdowns to. You're also getting rid of a guy he's only been in the Dallas Cowboys 5 years. Well, 3 of those years he led you in first downs. I don't know if that's an important stat. And guess what? Amari Cooper was on that team 2 years when he did it. Yeah. So it's like, I know people be like, oh, Dak can just, but guess what? Dak didn't, and listen, I love that the young guys, numbers, I love that they made plays when their numbers got called. I love that. Guess what? You know what that's called? Doing your job. Congratulations. Now, this is what I want to say. Right. We live in a world where we can have all three. The answer to the question of what's going on with Dalton Schultz and all your other dudes is this: keep all three. You want to know why you keep all three? Because you run 12 personnel, and 12 personnel requires 2 tight ends and almost 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like you're going to need 3 tight ends. And think about this. Realistically, your tight end is probably your strongest room on offense. Tell me where you have 3 deep in any position on offense. Bro, your backup quarterback is no, he all right.
Yeah. Well, I get what you said now. Schultz done blocked me and then unblocked me, and I might be blocked back now. You know what I mean? But here's the thing is with Dalton Schultz, I feel with all what you're saying. That's why the Cowboys shouldn't have franchise tagged him last year, because now you got to go back to the drawing board and you're going to have to figure out ways to pay this man or let him walk. And you're back at the same spot that you were the previous year. Now, my thing is with this, based off his production, yes, it dropped. It wasn't the same, but you got to include that he was injured this year and this past season. And then you got to include that you had better other tight ends around him, like the Jake Ferguson and the Peyton Hendershot. So production and productivity got to go somewhere. But it goes back to this. That's why the Cowboys should have gave him a 2 to a 3 year deal. And if you didn't like what you got out of him, you could at least go into this season right before the trade deadline, juice him up a little bit more, and then trade bait. You know what I'm saying? Somebody would have won him, but the Cowboys hustle backwards.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. There'd be some things like Schultz is just one of those things where he's not important to the NFL, and to a lot of fan base, he's not really important to them. But he's important to the most important person on the team, and that is your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So there are some reservations you make for your quarterback. And to be honest with you, since my quarterback likes to throw the ball short, I want to have as many good tight ends as possible. You want to know why? Because my tight ends have been like Dalton Schultz. There was a year Zeke led this team in receptions. Y'all know that, right?
Right.
Zeke did. There was a year Zeke led the team in receptions. So that lets me know that Dak is not going to be throwing the ball vertical like he's not going to do that. That's not even his game. If you're going to be in a West Coast offense, you need as many good tight ends as possible. So why not? Listen to me. I can name cut Kelvin Joseph. Hell, you mean? Keep Schultz and cut Kelvin Joseph. Like, there's a gang of people that I would cut before and would remove their money before I would just leave Dak with two guys. And think about this. If you look, and I love Ferguson and Hendershot. I like them, but I also see rookie mistakes. I saw one of my rookies do an alley-oop to the opposing team.
Jacksonville, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Remember, it was one of your young rookies who kind of helped us lose that game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you still have that. So are we really trying to put that amount of production on 2 guys who really did not get any experience last year? I mean, yeah, they got a couple. Their numbers got called a couple times, but realistically, man, Those guys did not get enough uses for us to be like, yo, let's just get rid of.
So let me ask you this. So you basically want to run it back with the running backs, and you're going to want to run it back with the tight end room, right?
This is what I want to do, Law.
What only shape up would you do? I meant to say.
I want to keep exactly. Rookie is the key. So just because you're a rookie, just because you're not a rookie no more doesn't mean you get downloaded with experience too. I mean, if that's the case, Kelvin Joseph would have been better in his second year. Remember, he was a rookie. He didn't get better his second year. So this is what I want to do. I want to keep the team together that lost by 6 points at someone else's house as close together as possible, because I don't believe that we should be making wholesale changes to that team. I think you need to keep that. Listen, this isn't one of those situations where we need to like start tearing apart. No, Cowboys, we have tried get better by subtraction for the last 5 years. That is not how it works. The rest of the NFL is getting better by adding people to their team. If we're the only team as soon as our season's over, we instantly start taking stuff off the team, taking stuff like, bro, stop taking stuff off from your team that just lost in the second round of the playoffs. And think about this. I know everybody just assumed we were supposed to beat the 49ers, but let's just be real. The Cowboys were trying to do something that no other team had to do in the playoffs this year. And you know what that was? Win 2 road games. We were the only team that was presented with that. You know what I'm saying? True. Giants couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Cowboys couldn't do it. And remember, we were also going to the number 1 defense. Vegas had us a negative. They had us a -5. So even Vegas didn't think we were winning. We were the underdogs. Theoretically, we were supposed to lose the game. That's how it's supposed to play out. Now, I know we're fans and we want to, and we feel that we had an option. I was at the game. I felt we could win the game. But now as I sit back and I'm looking back, myself says this, West Coast, what can I do to get over that hump? We won 12 games. We got to the second round. Bro, keep that. You had a dude that scored third. Listen to me. If you look, who was your playoff MVP last year? Dalton Schultz.
As far as what he did, yeah. Look,
playoff MVP.
I see where you're going from it, because you speaking from a bigger perspective versus, Schultz, don't pay him, let's get rid of him. But when you was out there in Oxnard, just like when we was out there, Schultz be the first one that's out there on the field, the last one to leave, and he got better and better every year. He stayed. Look, for those who not out here in Oxnard, he stays extra 15 to sometimes 30 minutes after practice every day, working on his craft. And he helped Dennis Houston out tremendously. Now, although Dennis dropped the bag week 1, which was granted, you're undrafted rookie guy. But I see what you're saying. Like, who knows? Schultz might have helped Ferguson out tremendously, Peyton Hendershot. So, yeah, you don't want to just leave that off the table. And when Schultz was healthy in the year 2021, juxtaposed to last year, passer rating when targeted was 122, right? So he was Dak Prescott's safety valve and safety blanket. So, yeah, I agree to a degree of keeping Dalton Schultz. But my only thing is now the big ugly bag coming the way. How much you gonna pay the brother?
Listen to me. My conversation with Dalton Schultz, $12 million, man. $12 million. But I'm gonna tell you this too. The question to me asked West Coast is this: how much would West Coast pay to win a Super Bowl? And my number is whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like I am in the moment right now where it's like I don't really care if the Cowboys are over the cap. I don't care. Because this is the thing. If we're so good with the money, why can't we spend it all and then make it right back? Like, we act like a team we act like some folks that's been broke all our lives. And now we finally got some money and we scared to go broke again. No, we've always been rich. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Cowboys, listen to my question. If we're so good with the cap and we're so good at making money, okay, go spin it. Spin it all. And then guess what? Make it back the next year. Because listen, I know Jerry Jones makes a lot of money.
Right.
But guess what? I'm pretty sure he'll make more money if you do what? Win a Super Bowl. Imagine how much money you'll win if you actually win a Super Bowl, Jerry. You make money when you lose games. So imagine if we actually win a Super Bowl, how much money you'll make. So it's like that is really the mindset, because think about this. Tampa Bay went from having Jameis Winston as their quarterback In 6 months, they revamped the entire team. Tom Brady brought all his friends. Guess what they did? They marched right into the playoffs, won a Super Bowl. The Rams said, that's interesting. What if we tried our own spin on it? Hey, let's go. Guess what? They went out there, spent a whole lot of money. Guess what? Got themselves a Super Bowl. Now, guess what? The very next year, they down and broke. My question is this. Law. Cowboys win a Super Bowl. Are you okay? Would you be okay? Would you be okay with being in cap hell? Would you be okay with being in cap hell right now with a Super Bowl ring on your finger?
I know that there's no such thing as cap hell, but yeah, at some point you will have to do that. But it goes all the way back to philosophy talk, right, Wes?
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Jones didn't want Dion. He said no. They got into almost a fisticuffs when it got down to signing Prime, with his dad. So
he fought his daddy. Say that.
Yeah. He fought his daddy, Dad. No,
over
Daddy.
Over Deion
Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he was younger. Now Jerry, it looked like you can, and he gonna break a hip. You know how the old folks, when you hear them hips got to be delicate, man. He fall if Jerry falls, you know what I'm saying? Them hips gonna be smashed. So I don't want Stephen Jones with the slip back. You know what I'm saying? Fighting his dad. You know what I'm saying, over players.
Man, hey, man,
you know what I mean?
Lord, Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, please don't let Jerry fall.
Don't let Jerry, because I don't want to see hover around. Jerry would change the entire stadium, your stadium, as he called it. It would have hover around ramps everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. Like, Jerry ain't never gonna die. Billionaires don't die. They get rich in Miami. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? And when they really rich, they freeze themselves like Walt Disney and they thaw out in a couple of years and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you this, man. Just thinking about that day when Jerry going up to be with Landry, let me tell you that all of America's gonna shut down. Bet that. You say what you want to say about Jerry. When he going up there to be with Landry, the whole United States is gonna shut down for a day.
The NFL gonna have Jerry Day, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna have National Jerry Day, I ain't laughing at it, but it's just how it goes, man. It's gonna be a holiday,
And I'm gonna tell you, that's the influence. Hey, that's really the influence of your owner. Like, it's crazy. Like, Jerry is so influential with the things he say, right? That it's like this past week, right? He say, with Dak Prescott's contract, it just, it makes it hard to, put the money in your checking account, and then, because of the things on the back of it, then you gotta, it just makes it hard, and then you gotta put it in an account, and you gotta hold it, and then it just makes it so hard to get people in here. And I'm like, I tweeted this, man, and it was probably one of my biggest tweets ever, man. Like, I'm finally figuring Twitter out. I said this. I said, Jerry. I said, come on, Jerry. Come on. Stop the lies. It's 2023. We all know how the cap works.
We do, man.
We all know how to listen to me. I want to know.
Bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I'm like, Jerry, come on, man.
Like, I don't even like some of the stuff that Jerry says now. Like, I don't get mad. I get mad at the fans who react to it. Like, I mean, it's like, Jerry, why not try it, Jerry? If you tried it once, if you tried the banana in the tailpipe and it worked once, why not try it twice? You know what I'm saying? So Jerry, I'm like, go ahead.
Jerry fighting for his life, man.
I want me some glory hole.
I'll go, Jerry. The reason why I say that because, hey, on my vacation, man, on my vacay time, I had like important news, breaking news on my phone, turning red and everything. They now reopened the case of 2018. Some lady, you know what I'm saying? I said, Jerry, come on, Jerry, you look too old for that. Jerry, come on, Jerry. You're too old for chasing skirts, man. In 2018, they bringing up stuff that happened 5 or 6 years ago, man. Come on, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, stop messing with them hoes, Jerry. Leave them hoes alone, Jerry. Leave them hoes alone.
You need to be with Jean, Jerry. Jean Jones, man. Be with her.
But let me tell you, man, in 2023, bro, if you are literally like, okay, Jerry, I would love to ask Jerry this question. Okay, I understand. So what do the Saints, are they in a different NFL? Because the Saints was 50. I'm just curious, Jerry, I ain't trying to front you out, nothing, but I'm just curious, Jerry, because, I know how to count.
Mm-hmm.
Let me establish that first. Maybe you don't think I know how to count. I know how to count. 1 + 1, 2. Gotcha. All right.
No, he says 3.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did.
Damn act together. I watch your attitude.
Well, my bad, Jerry. Let me sit down. My bad, Jerry. My bad, Jerry. But I'm just asking, Jerry, like, because Dak is like the 10th highest paid quarterback in football. And he only made like $3 million for like the first 4 years of him being in the NFL. So what happened like all those other years when Dak was making no money and you didn't put a team around him then? And then my question is this: what's up with like teams like the Saints who are over the cap, or like teams like the Rams who just like are they printing money? Do they have different printers than us? Like, are you really mean to tell me that somebody has more money than Jerry Jones? Didn't you?
That blew my mind, man, when they $55 million
over, bruh.
And then I looked up again. Now it was $25 million, $28 million over the cap. And then all of a sudden it was breaking news. They signed Carr brother. I'm like, what they gave him, peanuts? Then he got a $45 or $40 million contract, like 37, something like that. He got Dak Prescott contract basically, and they was over the cap. I said, how, Sway, how? You know?
Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you this right here. Some folks see like me. Some people do their Christmas like this. You know what I'm saying? You be in that store, you be like, damn, this my mortgage money. God damn. But my kid's gonna be smiling. All right, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Because January gonna come. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna file my income tax, get my income tax back, and then I know this over here. I can tell them I'm gonna wait. Okay, Christmas gonna be good. Okay, we good. You know what I'm saying? Or is you one of them parents that look like, oh yes, I remember 2020 was a great Christmas. I saved $700 that Christmas by not buying little baby Law that Xbox 5.
Right.
Got him an Atari. Really appreciate that Atari, huh? Listen to me. Super Bowl comes with memories, bruh. It comes with feelings. It comes with joys. It comes with, listen to me. The problem with the Cowboys is this, man. We have found a way to get high off the love of joy of winning without actually winning. Like, that's what it is. Like the ultimate, like for the Rams and for these other teams that like get a taste of it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Philadelphia is gonna like. I know they have free agency in their defense that says that they could fall off a little bit, but I think when you get a taste of it, like Cincinnati, when you get a taste of like not sucking no more, it's hard to go back to that, bro.
Yeah,
it's hard to go back to that. So I'm gonna tell you this right now: the worst thing that could happen to the Dallas Cowboys while we out here, let me see if I can get into a little $50. These teams start being aggressive. Listen, I know it's just a rumor, but I don't like hearing rumors about Washington getting Lamar Jackson. No. Use another quarterback to be your rumor. Go use Daniel Jones. Go use Marcus Mariota.
Don't be your rumor.
Don't joke with bringing Lamar Jackson in my division. In a division with a team that already has a ridiculous defense.
Yeah, and now they're gonna have the brilliancy of
Bellery.
Eric Bieniemy. So now you're gonna have Eric Bieniemy. Now they got some weapons. They got some dogs at their wide receiver. Jahan Dotson, no one sneezes at. Then of course you know about Terry McLaurin. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be looking at. Shout out to Logan Thomas too. So it's gonna be nice seeing them twice a year, and we'll see what we could do to counter that. The Cowboys we just got to be prepared and ready for this moment. I know a lot of people are taking a dump on Dak Prescott, but if anything we can clearly be proud of is the NFC East win-loss record.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm proud to be in NFC East, but I ain't proud to live in the NFC East. It's crazy in these streets right now, man. like listen to me. The Cowboys really don't like. Our mindset really has to be not necessarily what we got to do to beat the NFC. We need to talk about building a team to beat the NFC East, because think about this: the Washington didn't even really have a quarterback last year, and they were still a playoff team to like week 9.
Right.
I think it was week 7. They had all 4 NFC East teams in the playoffs. Like, listen to me. When you see your division being aggressive like that, bro, you can't just sit back and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hope my guys get good. Like, no, they're not hoping. Washington's not hoping. The Eagles, listen to me. The Eagles, they're not hoping that people get good. They're not hoping that people take that next step next year. You know what they're doing? Pay them. Like, think about this, man. They still went and got that boy. It's crazy that Jordan Davis, he played, but he didn't even really play a whole lot for him. Jordan Davis, the dude that probably started for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Would have started for us.
He would have started. Yeah. But here's my thing though. You think the Eagles can run it back though? This is my thing. What I say about the Eagles. They have two big problems in their organization. One, they have like 11 guys on defense, and they have like 7 of them who are like free agencies. They're like free agents, or they're in some type of contract situation where they could actually be off their team, right? Right.
So you're telling me that the Eagles defense has a chance that it might diminish, and and I'm gonna tell you the second problem, their defense has a problem beating Dak. So, and Dak plays in your division. And think about this. You split the best team that you've had in the last 10, 15 years outside of your Super Bowl team, split with them this year, split with the Cowboys this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're telling me there's a chance that your defense gets worse next year because of free agency and you still can't beat Dak? Yeah, I mean, Philly, I think they're still going to be good outside of us. I think Philadelphia is still going to win like 10, 11 games. But it's not about 10, 11 games anymore because they have a 10, 11 game team, just like the Cowboys. I think coming out the gate, we are a 10-win game. Like, that should be mandatory, bro. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Well, to that degree, you were talking about open heart surgery and everything.
Yeah.
They on the table. They got a new defensive coordinator, a new offensive coordinator, and they're going to have some differences on the defensive side. Regardless, Bradbury wants top 5 money. Yeah, free agency. They said that the Gardner kid, he gonna want money. So yeah, they're gonna have an open heart surgery situation. So we'll find out, man.
In our division, think about this. While in the hardest division in football.
Yeah, and also there's a thing that they call Super Bowl hangover. You be hung over the next year because everybody pointing the fingers, right? Everybody got the blame game. So the Eagles, it may be a full year of the Eagles doing this right here, y'all. Hush your mouth over there. They cry.
Think about this too. If you're the Eagles, think about this. If you're the Eagles, you're in a weird situation, right? Because I was touching on it a little bit. Think about this. You're in a weird situation. Because think about this. Like, you could still win. Like, you could be in the situation the Cowboys were in, where you literally win 12 games and your ass still got to go on the road in the playoffs. Why? Because there's a team that won one more game than you. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. That could have happened this year. Because Eagle fans don't want to believe this and remember this. Bro, you guys were only 1 game difference from us. One. Yeah. Think about this. If the and that's why I'm saying, like, the Eagles are in a situation where they have to build a team to beat the Dallas Cowboys because you have to beat us. They got to try to beat us twice. Because think about this. Even with splitting with us, we were still only 1 game behind.
And let me say this again. Shout out to my guy MJ that's in the chat. In the chat, we shot ourselves in the foot with Green Bay and the Jacksonville Jaguars game. We literally shot ourselves in the foot in those games because we were winning. We were leading in both of those games. Yep. We clearly win those 2 games. We're the number 1 seed.
Yep. And think
number
about
1
that.
seed. Just think about that.
And if you're an Eagles fan, you're thinking like, damn, and this was a really good Eagles team. Yes, you were, and you were still only 1 game difference from the Dallas Cowboys. Go sit on that. Like, so that's why I say, Cowboy fans, we are not that far off.
Like, not to contextualize it like that. But hey, I know you said you got to split and everything.
Sure, I do.
But by Mike McCarthy saying that they're gonna change 15. Look, let me get this straight. I think he said 25 to 30%.
Yeah,
that number is a whole lot different than 15 to 20% because that's what Jerry Jones' son said. Stephen Jones said 15 to 20%, and I heard Mike McCarthy said 25 to 30. Now, if your light bill goes up 30%. That's a whole lot different than 15%, right or wrong.
Right. But you also got to think like this. It has to change too. One, you play a lot of teams that you've played. Like, you play the 49ers, you just played the 49ers. You're going to play the Chargers. That's your old offensive coordinator. You played. I mean, they're like you play. Your division has actually you kind of and think about this. Like the Cowboys do gotta kind of change some stuff, man, because we've been looking the same. Like you know what I mean? Like how many times you gonna put a wig on that pig, bruh? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like how many times you gonna do it? How many times?
Yeah,
Like, you can't keep on putting a wig on that pig. Like it's only gonna be pretty so many times. Like at some point, you do gotta kind of like go because if you don't change your system, there's a lot of film on it. There's a lot of film on it. There's a lot of film on your system.
No doubt, man.
Hey,
Yes,
man,
indeed.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell y'all this right, man. I appreciate you, man. Law, I appreciate my boy brought out the blazer, man. He ain't gonna say it, but listen to me. That blazer older than some of y'all content, man. That blazer, one of them blazers that started in the game, man. You gonna look at hey, that blazer like Dak bow ties. You know what I'm saying? When Dak bring that bow tie out, you know he cooking. When I saw Law with that blazer on, I said, oh yeah, let me go. Let me straighten my stuff up because he ain't coming to play today. Okay, you ain't gonna catch me slipping, you know what I'm saying? But yo, Law, as always, brother, it is a pleasure, man. Also, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. It is 252 people watching on his network. It's I got 140 on mine. That's over 400 people right now. Listen to me. You guys are still trying to watch content. The only issue is I can't bring it. Why? Because I gotta go coach. But I got a fix for you. Right now, in about an hour, y'all gonna be going live, right?
Yes. Final word. Yeah.
In an hour, in an hour, you guys need to go on over there to Law Nation's page, Boss Cowboys page, Big Game James, and whomever else is gonna be on there. Go to their page and support.
Okoye.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okoye, special guest tonight. Okoye.
They know Okoye. He was on the page. He was on here last week. But yeah, I need y'all to go over there and support, man. Listen to me. We are going to get each other through this offseason. You feel me? We are going to get each other through these off seasons. I know y'all don't really feel like y'all need us during the regular season. Why? Because y'all can watch us. But listen, y'all about to appreciate the hell out of us, especially when May come and there ain't nothing to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna love me in May. you gonna love me in May.
Yes, indeed.
Tony Romo and everything else. But
oh,
hey,
my goodness, man.
I already know what it is, man. It is your boy West Coast, man. And he is Law Nation, man. And we appreciate y'all both for tapping in, man. You already know what it is. Never look down because stars up. Peace.